having us all going in unison.
Oh, sorry. Welcome to Salem Podcast.
We almost... Oh.
Wow.
Welcome
guys.
to Salem Pod. All right.
I thought it was the podcast still.
No, it's Salem Pod.
Should we just call it the podcast?
Should we call it? No. What?
Are we okay? Are we going?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going. Hi.
This week we're gonna do story time again.
Yes.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
And we're not doing a theme because that's just too hard.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be three more random stories.
People don't matter as much
What?
What did you
for
say?
us to do a theme.
Do not eat Cheetos out of a
Cole.
bag during our podcast.
Those are my Cheetos.
Sorry. Oh, they're hot.
They're jalapeno cheddar. They're not even that hot.
Or that.
Focus.
Okay.
Rubik's Cubes help me think.
Yeah, they're loud though on the mic. Okay. Tanner's up.
Okay. All right. So, once upon a time,
Oh, wow.
last summer actually.
When I was a little girl.
Yes.
Last summer?
Yeah. Well,
So you were just back from your mission.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it was early. It was before summer. It was like February or something. Anyways, so it was over a year ago. My friend recruited me to do a summer sales gig type thing. And I thought I'd try it out. I didn't know anything about summer sales. So we went to like the team leader's house for training or whatever to learn how to sell. It was for a security company. Anyways.
What security company? Name it.
Alder.
Oh, they're the worst.
You don't even know. They're not that big or famous or whatever. Anyways, so I go over to his house for training, and everyone's there. And this was back when I had my old Honda, the gold one. And
Oh, that car was the worst.
yes, it was indeed. It died soon after this story. But so go in, do the training, eat dinner with them, then start to leave. Everyone's leaving, and my car isn't starting. And then I come to realize that I left the lights on because it doesn't turn it off automatically for you, and it doesn't do a little when so that you know that the lights are still on. It
A
just
little
like,
what?
I don't know, like a notification or whatever. It doesn't do
A
anything.
little beep.
So I literally, like, within the span of 2 months, my car died on me like 6 times at least, just because I left the lights on. Because, anyways, it was a
Wow.
stupid car, and that happened that time. And so I go back, and I'm like, hey, this is embarrassing, but I left my lights on. Can one of you give me a jump? And they say, sure. But my car is parked, like, weird in their driveway.
These
so
are people
like,
you're selling to?
No.
Oh.
No. This is like
It's
the
a training thing.
yeah. So it's like
Okay.
the people I would be working with.
The people you're selling to.
Hey,
If you help me out, I'll help you out.
I will give you the deal of a lifetime. So I go back in and I say, "Can someone give me a jump?" But they have to like pull their car super close to my car because I'm parked weird, and it took seriously 10 minutes for them to get it close enough for it to even work. And then we jump the cars, and that takes forever. And then it works. I turn the car on, and it's great, woohoo! And then I close the doors, and we're all high-fiving, and then I realize that my door's locked behind me.
Oh, no.
So, my keys are in the car, it's running. Or it's not running. I left the keys in the ignition, but the car was off. So, so I'm locked out, and we're like, well, shoot, what do we do? And then I'm just like, I'll just call the police and have them come and break into my car. So call them.
Meanwhile, people are getting murdered and they're helping someone.
So it takes a few minutes for the police to come, and then when they get there, I explain it, and they're like, oh, okay. And they do something where they reach something in to unlock the door, and that took a little finessing, so that took a few minutes.
Did you pay attention to the technique?
I
for
did.
Future?
Yes. No. But they go in and they try to unlock the door with the little electronic unlock button thing. But since my keys were still in the ignition, the car had died again.
My gosh!
So I was like, oh, shoot, sorry.
How?
So they had to get out this other thing called the Slim Jim, which basically, unlocked it manually or whatever. And the whole time, as the police were coming up there, I had this one coworker who was like, they're going to use a Slim Jim. They're going to use a Slim Jim. He brought up 4 or 5 times for some reason. And so when they did the first thing, he was like, is that a Slim Jim? And they're like, no, this is way easier. But then that didn't work. And so then they brought out a Slim Jim. And they're like, oh, yeah, here's the Slim Jim. And he's like, yes. And everyone's like, Slim Jim, he's right. So anyways, so that finally worked. They unlocked my car after, again, a few minutes of finesse. And then, so I get in, and then I have to jump the car again. So we have to move the car back, because we have to move it for the cops. So we have to move it back, and then we jump the car, and it finally works, and I'm able to leave. And for
by
the
this time it's 4 a.m.
No, for reals, it took 2 hours at least from the time we were supposed to leave. It was the most embarrassing thing.
And they're like, this kid's working for us?
Yeah.
You said, you don't have to call me back.
I'm sorry. You never have to see me again. No, but I kept going to trainings. I eventually went on a trial thing with them. I did a sales thing for a week. Discovered that it was one of the worst things ever. Hate summer sales. So I didn't do the whole summer with them. But through that whole thing, every time they saw me, they referred to me. My new nickname was Slim Jim. So
Slim Jim.
Pretty slender guys. That worked out. But,
and you go to the gym. In BYU.
No, I go to the basketball court, but I don't work out. I should. So yeah, that is my.
I didn't realize your car was so retarded.
It was ridiculous. I got locked out of. I eventually got a job at Costco, and there's 3 or 4 times where I came out to go home, and my car was dead. So I had to call Dad one time, and he came from Orem because all of my coworkers had already left. Another time, Dad couldn't do it, and Mark was like, I think John's in the area, so my brother-in-law's brother came over to Costco to jumpstart my car.
And Tanner hung his head in shame.
Every time. It was the worst. I eventually bought a jump starter kit that you can just carry with you in your car. But funnily after that, my car died for real.
Dead.
Dead.
Did it die at home? Or was it out somewhere?
Yeah, I think it died at home.
Oh, thank heavens.
I know. But yeah,
I
got rid of it soon after that, and so I've never used that kit, but...
I thought that the metal on the outside was just chipping, and that was it.
No,
and
that car was ridiculously stupid.
I was tempted to go out and start peeling off the metal, and there'd be a layer underneath, like that commercial.
What
where
commercial?
Where he's in a car wreck, and he starts peeling the metal off, and there's another layer underneath, and it's brand new.
Oh, yeah. It was a weird commercial.
It's satisfying. That's a satisfying commercial.
So one time, this isn't my real story, but that reminded me. One time I was at work, and I went to lunch, got back, I had a bunch of stuff in my hands or whatever, went inside to worked the rest of the day, went back outside, I'm like, well, I was going out and I couldn't find my keys anywhere. I'm like, oh, I probably left them in the car because I'd always just like put them under the seat. And I got in my car and like checked on the seat, nothing, looking around, and all of a sudden I'm like, my car's on. I left my car running in the parking lot for like 5 hours.
What?
Yeah, and my gas tank was completely empty.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You wait, where was this at?
At my work.
Oh, so you went into work with your car still running?
Yeah, my tank was
Oh
like
my
half full.
gosh.
I like didn't realize I think I was
gosh.
sitting in there for a minute or something, and I just like got out and went inside, and then yeah, I came back out and I couldn't find my key, and I realized it was in the ignition, and it was my car had
The
just
car
been
was
running the whole time.
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Well, that kind of reminds me, another little tangent, but one time
Yeah.
we were going on a scout trip. We were going to Goblin Valley, which we're actually going to this weekend. So,
Hey, Valley of Goblins.
but it was when Jeff Steiner was the scout leader or whatever. So we all go over to his house to meet up before we head out, and we're playing basketball. We seriously played basketball for like 3 hours, and they're like, "Wait, why haven't we left yet?" And we find out that Jeff lost his keys and he couldn't find them anywhere.
Oh,
For
yeah.
Hours and hours he was looking. He eventually found them in the garbage can in his kitchen.
Why?
I don't know. But his
would've-
keys were in the in the bottom of the garbage. He found his keys, and we
How?
eventually left. We got there super late, but
Well, that reminds me of a story. So one time we were in New Mexico, and we were supposed to drive over to California to go to a concert, an all-day concert, and then we were driving back through the night. So anyways, we got like 4 hours of sleep that night or something, like ridiculous. And we got up the next morning and we were trying to leave, but it was pouring rain, and then Gabs, the girl that was driving us,
was it to DeBrine's cousin or
she's a friend.
of the DeBrines?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how,
I don't know how they're really.
but
I don't know.
Anyways,
So anyways, she couldn't find her keys to her car anywhere. And we're like, oh my gosh, like we're in New Mexico in the middle of nowhere at that house, and like cannot find her key, and everyone's looking all over, and it's like pouring rain outside. We have to get going so we can make it to California on time. And
I can feel the anxiety of
maybe
this
this should be my story tonight, because I don't
Sure?
want. Yeah, because I don't want to tell the other one yet.
okay.
Because I like just barely told Cole and Dad.
All right. So this
Okay,
is
so
Paul's
this is my
official
story.
story.
So, anyways, we're searching for it. We end up like saying a prayer to help us find it. And I go out. I'm like, well, we were out in the field yesterday. I'm like, what? I don't know why you'd have your keys out there, but I can go look. And she's like, okay. And it's like seriously pouring rain and everything. I'm out in the field, just like it's a huge field too.
Yeah.
And I'm just walking around the field like, this is ridiculous. Like, we're never getting out of here. And then all of a sudden, they're on the ground in
What?
the middle of the field.
What the
Yeah. So I'm like, holy cow. That was crazy. Prayer works.
Yeah.
Holy Ghost.
And then all of a sudden,
What?
the clouds parted and sunshine came down. And there was a chorus of angels.
Could
No,
hear God speak
right there.
to your left a little.
Hallelujah. And then,
Nice.
anyways,
Saint like right there.
so then we ended up driving to California. We get there. It probably took, I don't know how long, but we got there like after midnight, and we had no idea where we were sleeping that night. And so we ended up at a Denny's, of course, in like a super ghetto, sketchy place.
Sweet.
And we're like, so we ate there, and then we're like, well, let's see if there's any beaches that we can sleep on. So we ended up just like Googling free beaches, and I think where we slept was we weren't supposed to sleep overnight. But anyways, we just like laid out a tarp in our sleeping bags and went to bed, and we probably got like maybe 3 hours of sleep this night. So like 4 hours 2 nights before, 3 hours that night. We get up, which that was an awesome. I love sleeping by the ocean. I don't know if you guys have done that, but it's so nice waking up to that.
Yeah.
But
I woke up in Pineview and I could hear boats.
Oh
no, not boats. Waves crashing and a soft, salty breeze on your face.
Okay.
Anyways, so we did that and got up, went to the concert, which was an all-day concert, and
was it like a festival, like Coachella or something?
I don't know what it was, but there's that we saw like 311, Cake, The Offspring.
Oh shoot!
Those were like the three bigger bands, and then there's like tons of other ones.
Woodstock?
No.
Live Aid?
No.
I think it was Live Aid.
Now that I remember correctly.
And I'm pretty sure we got high just from secondhand.
Oh.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't that one. That one we didn't get high. The one we got high was at Pioneer Park in Salt Lake.
Oh my gosh.
At Modest Mouse.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so anyways, we went to the concert all day. It was amazing. It ends at night, and we have to drive back to Utah before like 10 o'clock or something. Gabs had a class she couldn't miss. It was like the end of the semester.
Ugh.
So anyways, we're on our way out. We stop and get
Our father just walked in.
Oh, Father! Kenneth!
Yes.
Are you gonna be unpacking and stuff right there?
Huh?
Are you gonna be packing and stuff?
No, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Do you have a funny story that you would like to share?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
He would have plenty.
Yeah.
So anyways, we decided we want to eat something on our way out. So we grab, what's the one with animal fries? You can get animal fries.
In and out?
In and Out.
Animal fries?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Made from animals?
I haven't eaten animal fries since this moment.
Really? I had some like the
I'll
other
tell
day.
you why.
Okay.
Okay. So
Maybe I don't want to know.
we order animal fries and a bunch of food or whatever. And at this point we're like, oh, and we stopped at a gas station and got 5-hour energies and drank those, and they just made us sick. Like,
Yeah, Dad says those are dumb. They don't work.
well, they just made, like, I think just because we were so tired, like exhausted, lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we eat some of the food, but we just put a bag in the back seat, or like the middle seat, and we're driving, and before you know it, somehow the animal fries have smeared, like fallen out of the bag and like smeared all over the center console.
Oh.
And so animal fries are like fries with like cheese and like a sauce, and
Yeah.
Oh.
they're super sloppy.
Onions.
Yeah, so it's like all over the car. So our car reeks like animal fries, and we're sick, and
Yeah.
we're exhausted, and we have to drive like 12 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, or like 10 hours. So we start going.
This is just the worst experience.
Yeah, the concert was amazing though.
But
But
that was good.
anyways, so we're driving, and I just remember being so out of it that we go to a gas station, we stop and get gas again, and then I'm pulling out, and the roads are empty basically, luckily, but there was a red light, and I just like drove straight through it. Like I was so out of it, and then I realized, like, oh my gosh, that was a red light. So I stopped the car, but we're in the middle of the intersection.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, wait, like trying to figure out in my mind, like, what am I doing?
Oh my god, Paul.
Where are we? And so I just go and we get on the freeway. And like by this point, Gabs and Chris are asleep. And I'm just like, let me just see if I can close my eyes. Just for a second.
No.
And like, so I just like close them, and then I'm like, no, like shake myself awake, and I'm just like battling for hours, just like
Oh my god.
trying to keep my eyes open on the road. And so finally, I'm just like, okay, I need to listen to some music. So I turn on like some loud rock music, and I'm like singing to it, and like trying to just do anything, like my windows down.
I'm picturing this.
And I'm battling the whole time to keep my eyes open.
Did you have bloodshot eyes?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
looked like a
this. Hold on.
You probably
That's part of the story.
like a psychopath.
Yeah. So I'm like driving down the road screaming at the top of my lungs with the window open, just like a zombie.
Are the others still passed out in the back? Or?
So I think Chris might have been awake at this point, or Gabs. One of them was awake in the front, and they're singing with me, like we were both trying to keep each other awake, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyways, we get to a rest stop somewhere, and Chris throws up, like gets out and throws up, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm not gonna be able to drive at all." So I drove the whole way, basically.
Oh.
So anyways, we're driving. We get to around St. George area,
Oh my gosh, you're still so far.
and it's light now. Like the sun's come up, so it's got to be like 6 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is overnight?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, and we're running on like 5 hours total sleep the last like 72 hours.
Oh my god.
And we're sick, and we just came from a concert. Anyways,
how's Gabby supposed to do anything in class?
I don't know. But
she was
she was adamant that we had to be back by this class if we were gonna do this trip, and we're like, all right, we'll make it work. So we get to St. George, and I switch her out. So she wakes up. She's like, okay, I think I'm good to drive now. So I switch her out. I get in shotgun. Chris is still in the back, like puking, sick as a dog. There's animal fries still smeared all over the car.
Why can you not just wipe them?
It's
It's like a mess.
Okay.
Like she had to get her car like shampooed after.
oh my gosh.
So anyways, I switch her out. We start driving, and literally like 10 minutes later, she gets pulled over by a cop
No.
Oh.
for speeding. And the cop comes up, and I'm not even kidding. We probably looked like high, first of all. Our eyes are all bloodshot. We smell like pot and sweat and animal fries. We're on no sleep at all, and we're just like looking at him like, what the freak do you want? Like, just give us a ticket, whatever. So he gave Gabs a ticket for speeding. And he's like, well, first he's like, you guys okay? Like, where are you headed? Like, where have you been? We had to explain everything. Like, yeah, we were at a concert all night and just trying to get home or whatever. Anyways,
I was picturing him giving you a drunk test.
Yeah, I was thinking
And
like
you guys would have failed
walk on
it.
the
I'm
straight
surprised
line.
he didn't, because we
Yeah.
were like completely out of it. Like, not even looked stoned. We were like no sleep, deprived,
Yeah.
bloodshot eyes, pot smelling. Yeah, it was a mess. Anyways, so we literally pulled up to UVU like 5 minutes before her class started.
No.
So we just dropped her off at
Oh my
class straight
gosh.
from that.
And
then
she went in like that.
gosh.
Yeah, so she went to class like that. And then we drove the rest of the way to our house. This is when we were renting a house, and there's like 7 of us living in there. So me and Chris pull in. Everyone else is at work or something.
Mm-hmm.
We go and sit on the couch, and we're just like feel just so sick and exhausted, but we have to wait until her class is over to go pick her up. And we know if we go to sleep, we're not waking up.
Yeah.
So we just sat there in silence, like
Oh my god.
like zombies.
You couldn't have called someone to...
And we actually we took pictures of each other just because of how horrible we looked, and those are some of my favorite pictures.
You better find them.
Bloodshot eyes. We hadn't shaved like the whole trip, so we had like nasty, scraggly beards and just
Oh
horrible.
my gosh.
So, anyways, we're just sitting there for an hour waiting. Then we go pick her up, drive back home. And we tried just like, I think it was just like our bodies were shutting down, or
Oh,
we were just too exhausted because like I slept, but it was very like restless sleep. I kept waking up,
Oh, no.
and
While
I
you
only
were-
slept for like 2.5 hours or something. And then
Oh my
we just
gosh.
we were like zombies for like 2 days.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Was it worth it?
it was.
Okay.
That concert was awesome, and it's a good story now.
True.
Oh.
Nice.
And
Bravo.
we didn't die.
Yeah.
That's the major accomplishment. of
Okay.
it.
You
Don't
need to,
don't try that at home.
You need to find those pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll post
Yeah.
them on the website.
The website. The non-existent website.
We'll make a website. I don't
Just
know
to post those
how.
pictures.
Do you guys know how to make a website?
I actually made a website for a college
So you know how.
in Connecticut.
So you got us.
And I had
Paul
no
will
idea
make a
what I was doing.
website. That'll be his assignment this week.
All right. That's my story.
Okay.
Pulls up.
Mine is nothing. Tanner just gave me this the very last second because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say because I did nothing in my life.
you.
Yes, you have.
And
Just 'cause you're
Tanner
blanking.
gave me one. This was me and Tanner and
Yeah.
Nathan, Chris's little brother. We found a way to climb up onto the elementary school roof, which we've
So-
done.
Everyone did this, by the way. Everyone, like, all of my friends, everyone else at school, like, everyone knew how to get onto the elementary school roof.
Yeah, it's that one spot.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Because it's easy.
Yeah.
But we go up there, and it was...
When was this? Like, what
This
day
was-
and time?
It was summer, I think.
Oh, so
And,
there wasn't school.
No.
And
No.
I was out of elementary school, I think.
Were you?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh,
We were
maybe
younger.
not. Maybe not. I think I was probably in 3rd grade.
third?
Third?
Oh,
You
I don't
weren't
know.
in third.
I have no idea. Okay.
We were...
Pretty
It was
sure I
older
was
than
on my
that.
mission.
Yeah,
Hey.
I can't remember when it was, but we were younger, but not that young.
Okay. So we went up there, and my second favorite part was when I could see this big window. I could see the library, because
Oh yeah.
in the middle of the library, there's this huge window up on the
Like-
ceiling,
Yeah.
and it's like bending up. It's like a diamond.
Did you get
Window.
on the top?
No.
No.
That
Fall
You
one.
wanna die and then have to...
We had no cell phones. But that looked really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, what if I slept up here overnight and then would wave to people? I pictured that and thought, would that be
Thrilling.
worth it?
Wave to
Of
kids.
course it would. If you ever have to ask, would it be worth it? It's always yes.
Always.
Okay. Okay. So, we were like gonna leave, but then we noticed at our spot, we saw there were these guys playing basketball. They looked like adults, or like, they looked like young adults.
Yeah.
or teenagers. They looked big to my
looked
little
I
fifth
think
grade
there
eyes.
was one adult and then a couple like teenagers or something.
Okay,
I think.
one
But-
young adult.
Continue.
But we were like, I don't know if we can get down with them there. I mean, would they be chill with that? Or would... And we just, like, didn't know what to do. We were waiting there forever. And I go off to some other side, and I'm thinking of some other way. This is on the other side of the school. I'm thinking of some other way to get down, and I'm starting to visualize it. And I'm thinking, hey, this could work. So I start coming back, but I see Tanner and Nathan running back to me, and they say, Cole, the cops are here. I'm like, what? And we go,
And when you're that young, you're thinking, I'm going to jail.
I'm going to prison for the rest of my life.
this will be on my record.
Your permanent record.
Oh my gosh.
So we peered around the corner of the wall, and we see a couple cop cars, or maybe 3.
No, it was just one cop car.
Oh, was it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. But there was a couple of cops there.
There's 4 cop cars, a fire truck, and an ambulance.
As well as a helicopter started to crisscross overhead.
With a spotlight.
They were gonna bring a tank, but
They couldn't get the army to come in time.
there was one cop shooting hoops with them.
I think
and
both of them were.
it was just one.
Oh,
There was one chill one and another one that was stupid.
that's
Yeah,
true.
That's always how it is.
That's how they partner up to send mixed emotions. It's the good cop, bad
To
cop.
balance them out, yeah.
We were really freaking out, and I was
We were
So they
panicking.
didn't know you guys were up there yet.
Well,
um
I don't know, because that's what
don't
we
know.
were thinking.
We
like,
were
they can't know we're up here, right? But why would cops be here? So we were like, we were panicking.
We
We're
were
I don't know
like-
what to do.
I
don't know what
think
to
I
think.
pieced together, or I think you guys said that those guys called the cops. In a matter of fact,
Well, I don't know. I don't know who called it. We thought it might have been them because they're the only ones we saw, but who knows?
which come on, really,
Yeah, guys.
cops? Let's be real. So we go to the other side, and we're starting to climb down. Tanner gets down first.
Yeah, we.
And Nathan's starting to come down, and we see a cop car flying by the corner and then just stopped. And we're like, oh no!
like speeding over. Like they probably were going like 30 or
Yeah.
40 miles an hour in this like behind the school.
They were eager to get us.
So, and just real fast, the setup of the school was like, imagine like a rectangle, and then a little, like the middle of the rectangle, there's an interjection where like the gym was, and so they were on one side of that blockage, and we were on the other climbing down. But in the middle, or on the side of that, there was a playground with a woman sitting there. And so I'm pretty sure she, like, called out to them. Because she could see both of us. But we couldn't see each other. But she
Oh,
could
really?
see. Yeah, she had a vantage point for both of us. So I'm
I-
pretty sure she, like,
Don't remember a woman
Called
being
out.
there.
She's
Yeah.
like,
She screamed bloody murder. That's
Probably.
why that's why he was speeding so
Yeah.
fast.
but
He came and his finger was on the trigger.
he was ready to go.
But he
Continue.
Paul's looking so disappointed.
I'm just so tired.
Okay. You're gonna have to drive home. So anyway,
don't stop
Go
by
get
In-N-Out.
fries.
so they came by and we were like, "Oh, this is the end." And they were
This is
like,
the end.
We're
so the cop that was shooting hoops came by and he was pretty chill. He was cracking jokes, but it wasn't doing anything for us.
we were still terrified.
And we were gonna climb down, but they were like, "No, if you get hurt, then it's on us." So they brought a whole fire truck came to
We can
lend a
climb
ladder.
down. No, the fire truck's coming.
What?
Yeah.
They had a fire truck come?
Like the whole big fire truck.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, but-
yeah.
They made you stay up, like, just sit up there?
Well, I was down
Yeah.
already, but Nathan and Cole were still up on the roof.
Yeah,
So-
we were sitting
Oh.
up there for like 10 minutes. And they lent
Wait, who was crying?
Nathan and me. I started
Oh.
crying.
I stayed strong. I was close. We were young and panicked. Okay. Continue.
They asked for our parents' phone numbers.
That's
Well,
what
the fire truck comes.
So
They climbed down on the fire truck, and then, yeah, they called our parents.
yeah, and then the dumb cop was like, "Your dad wants to see you," pointed to Nathan in a laughing face, but Nathan was crying. So
We were all-
what was he
Did the
trying
cop
to
get
do?
in your face? You cried. You cried out. I'm a cop.
Yep, that's what happened.
I was a cool kid in school, I promise. I'm not on a power trip or anything.
I dated another girl. She doesn't go to your school.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, but I think the best part was that we lied to those policemen.
What did we say? I don't remember.
They asked us if we vandalized. We
We
said
didn't
no,
vandalize.
but we peed. In the corner.
There was a drain. We had to go.
Oh,
Where were we supposed to go?
We
We
could've-
couldn't run home. And that's not vandal. The rain washed it away.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's fine.
When I was a kid, I didn't know much better, and I was afraid my pee was gonna soak through the ceilings and into the
Come
classrooms.
One day
You'd
it would
be
just
in
start
school
raining.
and all of a sudden yellow drips onto your desk. You're like, oh no. It's happening.
Everybody run!
Yeah.
Take cover!
So I think Nathan's dad came and picked him up,
Oh.
but we just went home. Our parents were like, whatever.
Oh yeah, that's what the cop said.
By the
cop
way,
said, your dad's
You
coming
guys
to
got
get
away
you.
with so much crap. I couldn't get away with anything with mom. She chilled
Well,
out a ton.
We got home. Mom chewed us out for a bit, but Dad and Jacqueline just like laughed and joked about the whole thing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Mom was.
I don't think she would have cared about the roof as much, but like, I remember it was when I went to high school, my first year. She was like, "If I catch you sloughing, you are out of this house."
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, "Holy crap!" But then my junior year, I sloughed like all the time, and she just got used to it. So I think she chilled out.
We pulled different stuff to skip school. I remember Jacqueline used to always have job shadow days. When she was in high school, she would have job shadows all the time. And then I got to high school and like I never had a job shadow. And I didn't think of it at all until she told me like I think she was like checking me out of school for something. I can't remember, but she told me because we had to walk up to the administration lady to do it, and she's like, "Hi, Carrie." And later she was like, I knew Carrie a ton because I used to slough all the time. Remember when I used to do job shadows? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I never did a job shadow. I would tell
What?
Mom that I was doing a job shadow, and then when the school called to say I was absent, Mom would call in to excuse me because I had a job shadow.
Oh my gosh.
Genius.
I know.
Well, one time, I can't remember if it was mom or dad, but they were looking through one of my notebooks and found like 10 pages just of me practicing their signatures. Because I wrote so many excuse notes.
Yeah. I think Jacqueline actually mentioned that. I think there might have been some time. I think it might have been that same time, like, Jacqueline couldn't check me out because she wasn't my guardian, so we, like, forged a note, and she's like, I'm worried that Carrie's gonna notice this because I forged my signature so many times. Yeah. But I had a system my senior year. I had enough credits to where I had a free period, and so I made that my first period. And then I made my second period a gym class with like 50 plus kids in it. And so what I would do is I would go to bed in a t-shirt and shorts, basketball shorts, and then I would literally wake up like 5-10 minutes before class started, and I would get up, I would throw some shoes on, I would drive to the school, run in, they would take roll, and then I would slip out the door.
Oh yeah.
And I would come home and actually get ready for the day, just so I could sleep in more.
Nice.
So we've all got our systems.
One time I wanted to sleep. I was like, I'm not going to school. I don't care. So I just crawled under the bed and slept. Because I knew Mom would check.
Yeah.
So I just like got under my bed and went back to sleep. And then she gets a call from the school, obviously.
Yeah.
Like comes downstairs and opens my door, closes it, leaves. And then she like, so I'm like, and I woke up and like saw her like under the bed. And then she closed the door and left. And I'm like, okay. And I went back to sleep. And then she comes down again, opens my door. She's like looking around my room and stuff. And I'm like, what is she doing? And then all of a sudden she peeks her head under the bed.
Are you kidding me? Dad! How did she know?
I have no idea why
that-
she thought to look under the bed.
I felt the terror.
Yeah. One time when I was really little, Cole was still being potty trained.
Oh
And-
boy.
Ew, Cole.
I remember they would reward him with Swedish fish, and I would always ask for Swedish fish, and they always said, no, it's
Yeah.
for Cole.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
got mad, and one day when it was just Dad and Jacqueline home, I went into the bathroom, grabbed a handful in my meaty little toddler hands, shoved them all in my mouth, and went to go hide under the bed so I could eat them in peace. But I had so many in my mouth that I could not chew or swallow at all. So I was under there for probably like 15 or 20 minutes.
Just sucking it, like letting it drain down your throat.
But Dad and Jacqueline, around the time I went to go hide, like realized they didn't know where I was, and so they started to look for me. And they looked all over the house. They called my name, but I didn't want to get in trouble.
Oh
so-
my gosh.
So I just like stayed under there in the corner and just chewed and chewed, trying to get it down. Eventually, I like ran out, and right then I heard Jacqueline say like, "Should we call the police?" They were so worried. It was surprise. They're like, "Where were you?" I was just under my bed. Yeah.
Eating Swedish.
Sneaky and Swedish fish from Cole's little reward stash.
Yeah, I remember, and he would have M&Ms too, and I would always eat all of the M&Ms.
All of them.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Tanner sneaking treats,
Oh my gosh.
there was
No.
we made cookies one time, and they were in this container.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to tell this really fast.
Okay.
This is some background.
Oh my gosh.
Cole and Tanner were the worst. They would get up literally at like 6 o'clock in the morning and go up to the kitchen and finish off anything. So we hardly ever had like sweets in our house or like sugar cereal or ice cream or cookies. So we'd make them or buy them for like a family night treat. And then
We would. My
Mom
system,
would be like, okay, everyone only gets whatever, like 3 cookies or whatever per person.
My
So like, okay, so there's still a bunch of leftovers. I would wake up, like, not even late, like 8 o'clock, go upstairs, and everything would be gone. No matter what it was, no matter what time. We'd have, like, half a gallon of ice cream, and there'd be just... It'd be completely gone. And Tanner and Cole are just up there.
the way it worked in my mind was, I would have the my share the first night, and everyone else would have what they wanted. or like a little of their share, because we would split it up and I'd eat all of what was split up to me, but the next morning I just felt like it was a free-for-all.
It's fair game.
Yeah.
But
So you guys would get up before the sun and finish off at whatever was in the
The ironic thing.
I only
is
got up
tell-
at 8.
Tell the story of like a few years ago when you were finishing off the soda.
What?
Oh,
Oh. I don't even, so there was like maybe like a cup of soda left in the bottle. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I just grab it and start drinking it out of the bottle. And Tanner gets mad and says, "What are you doing? You can't drink that whole thing." I'm like, there's literally nothing left. And I start drinking again, and he slaps it out of my hand, and soda goes everywhere. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
I remember you first told it you were in the garage and you're drinking it, and Tanner opens the door and says, "Are you kidding me?" and smacks it out of your
In
hand.
the garage.
Yeah. Were you not
I think
in the garage?
No, I was just up in the kitchen.
Oh, he smacked it out of your hand and says, "Share."
Sure.
But
anyways, continue, Cole.
there was this container of a lot of cookies, and I was like, I only had 2. Jacqueline only had 2, and we go to we go to Tanner's room, and Tanner.
So we went to church that Sunday. So I came home from church and
Oh.
Like before everyone.
I think what happened was we were headed to church, and so that's when, and then we
Okay.
came home, and that's when.
Okay, and Tanner's like, "You guys ate them all." And we're like, "We had like none." And we go up and
And if
he's in
there's
bed.
cookies in our house, at least back then, it's like death match.
And
Battle
we
Royale.
were like,
The Hunger Games.
we would open, and Tanner's curled up under his blanket, and I think Jacqueline whipped open his blanket, and he's like spooning the container of cookies that's filled up all the way, and she's like,
With crumbs all over his mouth, tears in his eyes.
she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And Tanner's like, "I didn't know those were there."
I don't want to
a
get
good
in trouble.
It's a convincing lie.
And I said, "Oh, I forgot I put them there."
My bad.
It was in the bed with me. I was just laying there.
Spooning it. Oh, what? These are cookies?
That was the lie I went with. I was like, whoa, where did those come from? But yeah, I can't remember why, but we didn't sneak up to go eat them all that day. But there was like a huge container with like a ton of cookies, like 50 or so.
Tanner thought it would be okay to eat them all.
Well, I went before church. We didn't eat them before church. We had like early church or something. So I right before we left, I went and grabbed him and hid him in my bed. And then when we got home, I ran up there and started
You're like,
chowing down.
finally.
You couldn't take a handful. You needed the whole
My
bucket.
precious.
There was another time when I couldn't find the candy canes because Tanner had hidden.
Well, that's
them
because
deeper
you
in.
ate a ton, like all the time, and so to save some for myself, I hid them like embedded in the tree instead of just out as a decoration.
We were addicts.
Well, they're two of my favorite parts of our... It's actually 2 separate Pineview trip videos.
Yeah.
So we go camping to Pineview every year. And 2 separate times. So one of them is when Raquel, my wife, is arguing with you about you guys eating all the cookies and how selfish you are. And you're like, well, why shouldn't we get them? Like, I can't remember why. Like, so you guys are just arguing in the background, and while the video's going. So that's one, and then I think it was the next video. Cole had eaten like tons of the cookies that Shree and Mark brought. And so everyone's like, all right, no more, Cole. And you're like, yeah, I'm not going to have any more. I'm done. And then we were playing Bang, and you're like,
I'm
can
gonna
I have a
cookie.
cookie? and I was filming, and I pointed at you, and I'm like, I thought you weren't going to have any more, Cole. And you're like, I'm asking. Like, give me a sideways glare.
Yeah. Well, that was. I
You
think
guys
I
and your
remember
cookies.
that argument because my philosophy was we divide them up. We divide them up evenly, but sometimes it doesn't come out to an even amount for everyone. So the leftovers, why shouldn't I get them? If I'm there to claim them, then why not? But yeah.
And I think Raquel was saying, because you guys always get them.
Yeah. But yeah,
It was funny.
we were addicted to sweets.
How long? Look on the timer.
51 minutes.
All right. Should we end it?
I think that's a good ending spot.
Okay.
Do we have a send off yet?
Catch you next time.
On Salem Pod.
What is this?
The
Wayne's
podcast.
World?
Wayne's World.
Oh,
Just kidding.
copyright.
We don't own that. None of those rights are. Any resemblance to any other musical talent
Should
is
we have one of those
purely
super
coincidental.
fast, like fast forward, on those commercials, like for medication or whatever, and then at the very end they have like a guy supersonic speed talking. This offer is not valid.
Yes, we should.
Okay.
But yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, bye.
Bye.